the one thing that we have to pay attention to if you want to be bearish. Okay, now I actually think we make a new leg lower, but we'll have to pay attention to some things before we get too excited. Okay, we'll have to pay attention to a few things, but there's bound. I believe we're even gapping up, so we really got to wait to see what the market's doing tomorrow and the rest of this week. But we could drop a few levels on the cues, and we can search for some stocks that may look good because what's happening right now is actually a rotation, right? Money rotation. There is a money rotation, and somebody's like, what is it rotating into? Well, if you go look at Target, if you go look at Starbucks, right? Those stocks are performing very, very well. If you go look at NVO, if you go look at some healthcare type of stocks, those stocks are performing very, very well. And we actually looked at this the last time I was live on Monday, and this stock it did what it does. It came into the buy the dip zone and went crazy. So there's money that is rotating, and which makes sense. I mean, people have been making. Come on, man, on these random tech stocks. I mean, come on. But I'm not gonna take too much of your time tonight. Big facts. Like I'm not gonna take too much of your time tonight. I had 750 calls when it done. Well, dang man. I mean, why are you buying it all? You thought we were going to all time highs. Hey man, it happens. It happens to the best of them. But what I will tell you right now is that we are. This is the dip zone for it. Okay, and we bounced hard. Okay. MU had extraordinary earnings. Now, what I believe with what's going to happen with MU is, people are going to get, hype for MU earnings and, think we're back. I don't think we're necessarily back just yet. Okay, I don't think we're back just yet. But I will say, until we can start crossing below 709 and having daily close below there, this is the buy the dip zone. And you guys saw me pull up the fibs. This is the buy the dip zone. So if you swung puts into tomorrow, like you really that like you after you missed a $30 move to the downside, you really need to reevaluate some of what you're doing. But make no mistake, until we start closing above 729, that is the rejection level. Okay, 730, 729, and then we have some levels to back to all time highs. But that's what I'm paying attention to for the cues. Because what's happening right now is like we're mainly just in a consolidation, right? All time highs, way back lower. All time highs, way back lower, right? So we can come right here and then make a new low. So that's kind of the stuff I want to see. I definitely want to see the fear and greed because we know we're making a new leg to the upside. Okay, we talk about this time and time again. Like we know a new all time high is coming, and I believe the Qs can get to 850. Currently it's at 710. Okay, so that's a lot of room for the Qs to go to the upside. I think we do have another euphoric leg to the upside. But in order for those euphoric moves to happen, like we talk about all the time, you need some fear into the market. You need people not believing that we're going to get back to all time highs, right? We kind of got that temporarily today a little bit, but I really want to see this back above 8. I mean, back above 1. Okay, right now we're at 0.81, and this is the put and call options. This is basically how many people are in puts, how many people are in calls. Right now, more people are actually in the puts right now. We're at 0.81, but I want to see this get to around 1, maybe above zero point 0.9, because that has marked the bottom on the Iran war, like you see right here. This is at 0.95 around the Iran war. We were live April 6th, literally saying, "Come on now, if you weren't buying the dip, what's wrong with you?" Made 30, man, made so much, made so much money because this is usually where the market bottoms. So I'm not gonna call it bottom just yet, but 0.95. I want to see it above zero point 0.9, and you can't even see it over here. But the April tariffs was actually around 1 and zero point 0.9 as well. Okay, so that is another bottom that we talked about and we called on the live. Okay, so I want to see this, around zero point 0.9, maybe 1. We'll have to be paying attention. But these are the levels I'm paying attention to: 730, and then below 710. Anything in between, kangaroo market. It's a kangaroo market, okay? Anyways, I'm not gonna take too much of you guys' time tonight. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at, and we'll look at them. Somebody said just get more. Just get more what? Thoughts on IWM tomorrow? IWM has actually been the strongest, one of the strongest index, which makes sense because um, money when money's rotating into higher risk assets, rotating into smaller caps, right? There's more money to be made in, you know, NBIS than Google or Apple, right? But anyway, thoughts on silver? I hate it. I don't like silver. I don't like silver. I think yeah, this is something we talked about. Like I wouldn't put anything in here. I will say it's taking quite a blow. So maybe a dead cat bounce, but we've been short on this. Like we can go on the Twitter. I can pull up the Twitter right now, and we were like get out. I was literally saying, man, you better get out. You better get out. It was around here. Well, you better get out. Silver, gold. I don't like it because it already went through its euphoric peak. Like there's no reason to. I know somebody that's buying silver right now. They're buying physical silver. They think silver is gonna come back, and I think a dead cat bounce is probable, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested, and it trades weird. PGY or Upstart? Let's look at PGY. I actually really want to look at Upstart, but we'll look at PGY. This thing will load. There we go. Oh, this is nasty work. Bro, path, volume, been insane. Man, going to 50, I sell physical silver. Hey, man, I don't know why you would sell physical silver, but you should have sold out. You should have sold everything on that pop. You should have sold everything on that pop. That was the most euphoric, obvious. Anyway, PGY. It's interesting, but I'm not interested. Okay, it's interesting, but I'm not interested. This doesn't. It looks weird. It looks weird. Okay, but I do want to look at Upstart. I do want to look at Upstart because Upstart is sitting in some now it needs to break above 34.61 before you get that leg to $40. So, but it is getting very tight inside of here. It is holding. You see some of these small caps holding up when these big tech giants are falling, right? You see that. You guys see that, right? You can't turn a blind eye to that. Like you see what's going on. So that basically tells you that there's strength in these small caps. It tells you money is rotating here. Money feels more comfortable here than in a overvalue, not overvalued, but a stock that went up. Like let's just look at for instance like like Google, right? Like from the Iran war, Google was 273. This thing went all the way to 405. Now I actually think Google could go up more, but it needs above some certain levels first. So money is feeling safer in some of these small caps like we're seeing. Now I like Upstart above $35. Okay, that's the real level. We're just gonna put party. That's where the party starts. Okay, so anything under there, you're kind of being riskier because it hasn't broken out. It hasn't gotten above this level. Now, how do we know that that is the level? Because we come over here, you draw the Fibonacci from this high right here all the way to the low right here, right? So you got to swing high to the swing low, and this actually told you where it rejected from the first time, right? It went all the way down, rejected the second time, went down here, and now it's kind of just consolidating below it. Okay, so you want it to trade above here. You even want some daily close above, because then you could probably get, $40. Okay, but not it's all right. Anyways, short FedEx and Amazon ripped my face off today. Yeah, bro. Let's look at MP. Let's look at MP because I think MP could be ready. I think MP could be ready. I actually really like MP. The only thing I don't like about it is how it's trading right now. But I will say this as long as it can hold above this level that it's sitting at right now, right? That it's sitting at right now, which is around 56.50. As long as it can get a weekly close above there, it's still in a bull type of trend. If it starts closing below there, that's where it starts getting dangerous because then it can start retesting some levels down here. Okay, so I'd be looking to see if it can see where it is on the weekly. That's what I'm paying attention to because I'm actually in NP. You want a weekly close above 56.50. Okay, but I will say above 56.50. It looks very good. Now I want to compare this to something really quick, and you can even look at the weekly. Like this is why it's so important to look at higher time frames and also know you know what it looks like on a smaller time frame. But this is what it looks like on a higher time frame. Like it is sitting in a head and shoulders, you know, heavy support. That's why I said 56.50 is a large level for it. But also we could come over here and see some rejections. You know, where it reject at 78. This reject level at this green. But as soon as it can start getting above 78, I have price targets to 134, even 190. Okay, like I'm telling you guys, I think a very euphoric market is still on the other side of whenever the market decides to bottom right now. Whenever there's max fear in the market, you know, I'm gonna be looking because I don't think we've topped out. I really don't. I really don't. But I like MP. It's only a $10 billion market cap stock. The government is literally has a stake in it, like a large stake, like 15%. Okay, I love it. Dude, service now is killing me. Thoughts? You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. Money's rotating, but this is why I tell you guys, you can't get roach contracts. Okay, either you're gonna be patient, either you're gonna endure, or you're gonna get these roach contracts and you're gonna be out by next week. You're gonna get these next week calls, right? But what you have to realize is that IGV, like, okay, let me show you guys something. Narratives and money shifts quickly. Okay, it shifts very quickly, very quickly. And if you're getting roach contracts, if you're not patient, you're gonna get left behind. So if you look at what Microsoft did from April 13th all the way until April 15th, okay, it was at 370, and in 3 days it went to 412, really 430. So it made a $60 move in 1 week. Not even. Okay, right here, 411 all the way to 470 in 3 days. Okay, so I believe productivity is going to be a huge narrative soon. Okay, now I wish I could tell you the time frame, but this is why I tell you, you just can't get roach contracts, and you got to make sure you're not putting in more risk than you can handle. Okay, so I'd be looking at August, September calls for if I wanted to get into software. Okay, but of course we're gonna like of course he's gonna shake some people out, man. This is about to be the easiest trade in my opinion. It's about to be an easy trade in my opinion. So of course he's gonna shake some people out in the medium term. You know, cause a narrative to where people are scared, kind of like what they did. You know, down here. Some of you guys remember the narrative was crazy down here, and then just to have it pump up, you know, from 74 all the way to 107 on, and IGV is just the ETF for software. Okay, so I like now. Path outperformed IGV with 80 million volume today. Huh? Where are you getting these numbers from, man? I actually like Path. I actually really like Path. If you don't know Path, you can literally make AI agents on it. I think AI agents are gonna be huge. I think the prediction is that they're gonna, you know, there's gonna be more transactions from AI agents than there will be actual real humans, and Path literally helps you create them. So I like Path a whole lot. Now it's very choppy. I would say this is probably an equity buy, but it looks good, bro. It looks good. There's no complaints here. It just we can't really see anything. And yeah, it's Q2 is rebalancing. Exactly. It's rebalancing. Like a lot of this stuff is rebalancing. So you're getting stuff taken out of, and you're getting a couple things. You're either getting people taking their money out of stocks and putting it into bonds, right? People taking because people have like large institutions have went crazy on Google. Like this thing went to 275 all the way to 450 or 409. So you're getting a rebalancing of people taking profits and maybe putting it into bonds, or you can take the profits and put it into some of these lower cap stocks, which I think is going to end up happening. But yeah, I love Pat. I like Netflix too. I'm looking for some of these beaten down stocks. Like I like Netflix. I'm not gonna look at it because you know this is I don't you know like I think Netflix is great. It's actually about to retest the high that it had in 2021. Now, do you guys think? No, I'm not even gonna say it. I love Netflix. Okay, I think Netflix is a buy, but you can't get some roach contracts. But if you go look at Target, like nobody's talking about Target, nobody's even mentioning it. But if you go look at something like Target, Target is literally breaking out from a huge downtrend that has held it down since 2021. Okay, Starbucks. You come over here and look at Starbucks. Like Starbucks is about to break out from a 6 year accumulation period. Okay, so these are the stocks that are getting rotated into, in my opinion, that I think have large potential to the upside. Uber, Pelosi just bought. Yeah, Pelosi bought some Uber. Now, am I gonna buy some Uber? No, but I like Uber. I think Uber looks great. Bull diverging. Is bull diverging heavily on a weekly time frame. So yeah, it looks good. Lower lows, but this is making higher lows. This is bull diverging. Now all it needs to do is start breaking above 77, and this thing can get off to the races. Now if you like Uber, you probably like Lyft, right? Lyft way cheaper. Google partnerships, Waymo, right? So I like Lyft right here as well. There's some amazing stocks out there if you're not if you're just paying attention, the metas. And I think meta bounces, etc. But there's some very good stocks out there. Oracle, please, sir. Looking forward entry to upside soon. Let's look at Oracle. Yeah, Oracle hit the victim levels and disappeared. Oracle, Oracle, Oracle rejected from the victim levels and created victims and then broke down from this and so these levels are just spot on. But we can look at a few things. I'm gonna delete all this. We can look at a few things. Um, to be honest, there's nothing I'm really seeing. I'm not seeing I'm not really seeing anything for Oracle. I'm not. But I do like the monthly hidden bull divergence, right? I do like that, but other than that, I don't really see anything for it. I would need this to start trading back above some certain levels before I wanted to mess with it. That me personally. If I wanted to mess with it, I needed to start trading above some certain levels. But this is where opportunity is. Like if you're willing to buy some of these red days and be confident and not get some roach contracts, either you're buying at a great opportunity or you're gonna be liquidity. But somebody said gold Mexico. Dang, Mexico's playing. Dang, AXTI more downside. I don't. I like AXTI. I actually like it for a bounce here. Um, I like it for a bounce here. I like it for a bounce. We got into AXT equity around $19. It went all the way to 144. I definitely wouldn't be shorting right here. You got to realize you missed. If you're trying to short this, you missed a move from 144. This is the largest discount that this stock has had, I believe, in some time now. So if you're trying to short right here, you're on the late bus. You're trying to short it after people have already made thousands and thousands of percent. So you're late at this point. This is the largest downside move that's had since it started rallying. So would I be looking for puts right here? Nah. I'll be I missed it, and I'll go look for another stock that I'd like to short, right? Because this is the largest. 41% here, 43% here, 54% on this downside move, right? So I think a nice bounce is due for it. Maybe I'm in calls for it. I hate MSTR. Yeah, we got into some AXTI today. It was the lotto of the week. The AXTI calls. I think it should be up tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, I think we are about to get up out of here. We've been live for 20 minutes. It's a very interesting market, okay? Very interesting market, but there's two things you got to know is we need to start trading above. Where did I say? Nucor Steel. We need to start trading above 730 on the Qs, okay? We need to start trading above 730 on the Qs for continuation to go to the upside and all-time highs. You need to be watching for the 710 level. That was the bounce level today. If you were trying to short it down here, a lot of people got caught pants down around their waist trying to short it after they missed the $30 move. I mean, this literally came inside of the buying area like we just showed you. So there's no point in shorting it. You could either wait for it to go below 709 to continue, for that next leg lower, which I think is possible. I think a next leg lower is definitely possible to 670 on the Qs, maybe, or 660. But I am watching above 730. There's a few things I'm watching. Okay, um, but I will remind you. Oh, and second thing you gotta know is on the other side of this is pure euphoria. Pure euphoria. Okay, so if you aren't great at trading, if you aren't great at trading some of this, some people are not great at trading. You want to wait for something like this where you can just get in the calls and you make money. Okay, you just want to wait for something like this. Some of you guys remember from March 30th all the way until May 14th. It was just pure. Oh, I'm getting calls. Yeah, boom, up some money. Oh, I'm getting calls again. Boom, up some money. Boom, I'm getting called. Boom, up some money. Okay. Um, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys all for tuning in. I will talk to you guys in the next live show on Sunday. Link is in the bio for anything. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Hope you make some money this week. And I'm out. Peace.